Well, good afternoon, everyone. Speaking to the Reeve, the county has everyone they're expecting, and the city does as well. So we're going to get started. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. And I'm going to read the land acknowledgement, if you just give me one moment, which I don't have with me. I'm hoping it's going to open up here. Sorry, give me one moment. I can find it. Perfect, thank you. So the city respectfully acknowledges the Beaver Cree, Dene, and Métis people as the original caretakers of these lands and surrounding areas. We are grateful to live, learn, work, and play on Treaty 8 territory within Turtle Island, and acknowledge these lands have been home to diverse and sovereign First Nations and Inuit nations since time immemorial. Thank you for that opportunity. I'm going to go back to our agenda here. So one item of business today, under item number 3 on the agenda, item 3.1 is an intermunicipal development plan joint public hearing. I will call this meeting to order and look to administration for introduction. I'll turn it over to Mr. Johnson, and you two gentlemen can present accordingly.
Thank you, Mayor Clayton. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm the Director of the Planning and Development Department with the city. I'll turn it over to Reed for his introduction.
Thanks. I'm Reed Derush. I'm Director of Planning Services with the County of Grande Prairie. Just before I introduce the item, would you like the full presentation now, or are you passing any motions such as adopting the agenda before we begin?
Nope. This is a public hearing, so there's no adoption of the agenda, and so it's just an introduction from administration.
Thank you, Mayor Clayton. So we're here to present the public hearing for the intermunicipal development plan between the County of Grande Prairie and the City of Grande Prairie. The plan covers an area of approximately a quarter section on both sides of the municipal boundaries, as well as larger areas in the southwest and southeast of the side of the county along the city. The current plan was adopted in 2010 with significant changes after an annexation occurred in 2016. We initiated this update in 2019. However, the project was put on hold in order to finish intermunicipal collaboration framework negotiations, and it was resumed in 2023. We jointly engaged Green Space Alliance to undertake the project on our behalf. It was directed by a joint council committee with representatives from both municipalities, as well as significant consultation with the public, including open houses and workshops. The document has a number of updates to update out-of-date content and to update processes within it. And I will introduce Dinesh Deshpande with Green Space Alliance, who will present the summary of the new IDP as well as key changes in the consultation process. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Please continue.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of council. My name is Dinesh Deshpande. I'm the principal with Green Space Alliance. And with me is also Griffin Hutchian from our team, who will be assisting me in answering questions. So thank you very much for the opportunity to provide an overview of this IDP project. As you are aware, both municipalities have been working together on this project since 2019. So we are very proud to present the final version of the IDP in front of you. Our presentation today includes 4 key aspects. First, I'll talk about the history of the project over the last 5 years. Then I'll provide an overview of public engagement, an overview of key policies of this plan. And finally, I'll provide the highlights of key changes that were undertaken as part of this project. I want to stress that this IDP is an update to the existing IDP that has been in place since 2010, and eventually it was updated in 2018. Following the 2016 annexation, The short-term annexation area identified in the 2010 IDP is now part of the city. So this IDP update provides direction for continued collaboration between the two municipalities. Project history. The project first began in 2019, but it was put on hold in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the intermunicipal collaboration framework preparation process that was undertaken. In mid 2023, we reinitiated this project and continued to work on it for the last 1.5 years. In terms of public engagement, the engagement efforts undertaken for this project include 3 joint steering committee meetings, 1 community workshop, 3 public open houses, and several meetings and interviews with the municipal staff and a presentation to a local industry practitioners group. So this slide on your screen shows the IDP's proposed boundary. Right here, this is the outer boundary of the IDP, and this one within the city is the inner boundary of the intermunicipal development plan. So through discussions with the administrations of both municipalities and the joint steering committee that was established for this project, it was agreed to keep the IDP boundary the same as the previous IDP. It includes 1/4 section of land on either side of the city boundary. You can see it here on this image, 1/4 section of the land on either side of the city boundary, especially on the north side and partial east and the partial west side of the city. Additional county lands are also included in the southeast portion of the IDP area and the southwest portion of the IDP area. And this was concluded through additional conversations between the members of the joint steering committee. A customized vision was developed for the IDP area that focuses on establishing the IDP area as a hub of regional prosperity by considering factors such as economic development, providing rural and urban lifestyles, cultural diversity, fair and equitable land uses, and promoting continued cooperation. In general, the future land use concept follows the land use designations established in the 2010 IDP, but it also provides land use direction for the entire IDP area. So the earlier IDP did not include any land use designations for the outer periphery of the IDP boundary. So through this process, we provided that clarity in terms of updating the future land use concept map. Various designations on this map include residential areas predominantly identified in yellow, commercial areas, commercial industrial areas, recreation/natural areas, industrial areas, and public service/institutional areas. The overall focus of the IDP is to provide a clear policy framework that will assist decision makers in both municipalities, residents, and developers that are active in the area. It allows a wide range of urban and rural lifestyles within residential areas identified in yellow. Agricultural uses would continue to operate as per the county's municipal development plan. It also provides direction that the fragmentation of agricultural land should be avoided when possible. The subsequent planning in the IDP will be implemented through a 2-tier planning process that was custom designed as part of this project. First, intermunicipal area concept plans, or IACPs as we call them, will be required for the southeast and the southwest portions of the IDP area. They will be high-level plans led by the county and adopted as statutory documents as per the MGA. The total number and boundary of each intermunicipal area concept plan will be confirmed by the county. The local area structure plans, on the other hand, will be applicable for smaller areas, generally 1/4 section or smaller area of land, and they will be led by the property owners. At that time, they need to abide by the principles established in the intermunicipal area concept plans and will be required to provide details as per the Municipal Government Act. The dispute resolution process was also updated to align with the process established in the intermunicipal collaboration framework. A dispute in this IDP is defined as any disagreement about statutory or non-statutory plan, land use bylaw or land use bylaw amendment applications, and the interpretation of the IDP policies itself. To improve efficiency, the dispute resolution process is only activated after the second reading of the bylaw is given. This process ensures that the council of the applicant municipality has an opportunity to refuse an application before the dispute resolution process is triggered. In terms of servicing, this IDP provides better clarity and flexibility. On-site servicing in general would be considered anywhere in the IDP area in accordance with the intermunicipal area concept plans and relevant area structure plans that are developed by property owners. Connection to municipal services is required only for new high-intensity subdivisions within 1/4 section of the city boundary, except to the northeast and northwest portions of the city within the IDP area. Finally, the referral area for this IDP is also reduced in size as shown on the map. You can see here on this map, the area on the north side is that exemption area that I just talked about, but the referral area is reduced to the alignment of the future ring road on the southwest and the southeast sides of the IDP area. In addition, the referral timeline is also reduced from 21 days to 14 days. These measures, in our opinion, would help improve the overall review and approval timelines for future projects within the IDP area. Finally, this concludes my presentation. We hope the updated IDP framework will help achieve the plan's vision and people's aspirations and ensure a continued prosperity in the intermunicipal fringe areas of both municipalities. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present the key highlights of this project. So I will refer it back to Reed and Joe.
Well, thank you for your presentation. I'll look to Mr. Johnson and to see if there's anything further, or from Reed as well. Anything further?
We have nothing further to add. Thank you, Mayor Clayton.
All right, so I will now open up the presentation and submission portion of our public hearing. This is an opportunity for public to come forward. Our process will be that I will ask 3 times if there's people to speak in support of the bylaw changes, and then I'll ask 3 times if there's people here to speak in opposition. I will just mention so that you are understanding exactly. Today we are holding a public hearing for bylaw C-1479, which is the city's number, and bylaw 3237, which is the county bylaw number. So I'll now open up the presentation and submission portion. If you are here to speak in support of the amendments to this IDP, I ask you to come forward now. I will ask a second time if there's anyone here to speak in support of the changes to bylaw C-1479 and bylaw 3237. And I'll look to there's no one online, so I'll ask a third time if there's anyone to speak in support of these changes. Seeing none, I will now move to the opportunity for you to speak in opposition. If you'd like to come forward, I will ask if you're here to speak in opposition of the changes of this IDP to please come forward now. I'll ask a second time if you're here to speak in opposition to changes to the bylaw C-1479 and bylaw 3237, please come forward. And I will ask a third time if you're here to speak in opposition to please come forward now. Seeing no one, I will now close the public hearing and move to business arising. Happy to recognize any of my colleagues for any business arising. Councillor Bressie.
Sorry, Mayor Clayton, there is no recommended motion in our package.
I apologize. The recommendation is just that we have the public hearing.
Yeah.
So there is no business rising. Thank you for that. So seeing that there's no one here, I appreciate those of you who came to watch this public hearing. Appreciate administration's time being here to support the electeds, and appreciate my colleagues for being here. And I will adjourn this public hearing. Enjoy the rest of your day.